Ladies and gentlemen,
you're watching Niche Nonsense.
Should we spend 2 minutes eyes closed meditating before we start, just to like really get here?
Sure. Okay.
Let's do that.
Being here is harder than it seems. Let's take it back a decade. 2013. I was wandering a small music festival, drunk and distracted, looking for lost friends swallowed up by the crowd as an act took the stage. Swimming in a sea of strangers, minds scattered. In the moment, I was a kid lost in a supermarket searching for a familiar face. The sound system started to shake the aisles. I knew what I was hearing was good, but it was background. I wasn't present. And while half paying attention, missing what was there, looking for something else, a chorus rang out in the distance.
Man down, where you from, nigga? Fuck.
Now, a decade and 100 concerts later, I still regret the day I missed out on Kendrick Lamar. The day I heard him, but didn't listen.
Forgive me.
2 years later, as the rest of the world and I obsessively poured over To Pimp a Butterfly like a Taylor Swift stan code-breaking her Instagram captions, all I could do was kick myself, thinking back on the time I was lost in a gold mine looking for silver. It was around that time, as Kendrick cemented his legacy, that he co-signed another artist.
Little Simz. She might be the illest doing it right now.
So, let me dust off the metaphorical time machine and save you from a similar regret. Be here now. Do not miss the golden age of Little Simz.
The mercenary don't fight the war for free. They fight the war for a currency, not unity, not peace.
Little Simz is a UK artist who in the last 2 years has dropped back-to-back albums of the year, just in time to fuck up everyone's best of lists with her brilliance.
Lost love and they need Cupid. No time for your words, please don't smart talk if you been stupid. Oh damn, she ruthless, been proven. Beethoven, no keys, deep music. When the drums beat to me.
She's at the absolute top of her game, and I'll talk about how in a minute, but first let's talk about why this video exists. Why you should give a shit. And it's about Little Simz, but it's about something bigger. I want to reframe how we look at our favorite artists, and our friend Simbi seems like the perfect opportunity.
We all start off so pure. Do it for the love, not more.
Music fans have a tendency to focus too heavily on scouring lists for the next best thing or crate digging for classics lost to time no one else has heard of. He projects. Too early to share, too late to experience. But we're not as good at appreciating what's here. We treat fame like a blaze of glory, burning out artists, trading community for commodity. We cut down old oak trees just to plant a farm-grown one along the road once we miss the shade. But I want to push myself and others to see our favorite musicians as journeys to enjoy. To be excited to see the arc of careers and to have faith in their moment when it's here, not when it's gone. To train yourself to know when the good old days are happening. Now. It's fighting against human nature, but Sim's career, as it stands, is a golden opportunity. After building her profile as an independent musician over the last few years, the 28-year-old is on a mythological hot streak with the Mercury Prize-winning album, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, and last month's equally acclaimed, No Thank You. Adding on to an already killer discography that, you guys know how to use Wikipedia. She's rap's new poet laureate. Her pen pairs seamlessly with hip-hop, soul, gospel, funk, and Afrobeat, comfortable letting the songs journey freely to whichever genre they need.
Yeah, Nens is mad, she's crazy. Trappers and a whole family in the same damn flat. Woman to woman, I just wanna see you glow. Tell them what's up.
She has a flow that sits inside her production like a snowball headed downhill. It loops and loops and hits a groove and builds larger and larger until you're facing this monolith and you don't know whether to stand there slack-jawed or start running before you get swallowed whole.
Beaten on, we've been chewed on, but it happened years ago, so we should just move on. You think that man don't know pain cause he got a suit on?
And then she lets it breathe.
You love my babe.
She can flex her technical skills.
Bother me, I'm a mishonesty, fucking your policies. They wanna kick me down or demolish me. Use me or fucking abolish me. I don't wanna hear no apologies.
Speed it up or lay it back.
Niger women got the melanin dripping. L-O-N-D-O-N city girl living.
But consistently connects it to this deep-rooted confidence, coding it all like a preacher mid-sermon in its pattern, cadence, and content.
You're not listening. I said it with my chest and I don't care who I offend.
You feel her faith in what she's saying. Agnostic of what your beliefs, I'm talking about the delivery. There's a calm urgency you sometimes feel pouring out of the truly religious. In a word, conviction.
Because I've just always seen myself as so much more. I think what I'm doing is bigger than me.
Her lyrics are often confessional, stream of conscience, examining herself and the society around us with raw honesty. It's as much what she's saying as how she says it. Simz is great at bridging artistic confidence with vulnerability. I'm really interested in this idea of having a vision in your art that is confident and knows what it is, even when the content is about not knowing what the fuck is going on, and admitting that.
What does it mean to be broken? The wound is painfully open. The beauty is in the finding the darkest parts of the ocean.
It's having a point of view without pretending to have all the answers. It's one of my favorite qualities of artists, ones who can capture chaos without losing full control. You're passenger side to a stunt car driver drifting around the race course, and even though it seems like you're about to flip at any moment, at your core, you know you'll get where you're going. All that wrapped in the ability to produce singles and conceptual albums alike. Sometimes I might be introvert, feels like To Pimp a Butterfly's kindred spirit. I love that Little Simz wears her influences on her sleeve. An artist in her own right, I think her secret weapon is in her skills as a curator. She knows how to bring disparate ideas together in one showing that feels like a cohesive vibe. Whether it's the genres she bounces between, the samples she uses, or the visuals themselves, she's an artist who truly understands environment. That our art is an amalgamation of everything we've seen or experienced, and there's no point in hiding that. The Afrobeat in Point and Kill draws from growing up with Nigerian parents, tapping back into the music that surrounded her in youth. She collaborated with Obang Jayar, a modern Nigerian-born artist who moved to the UK at 17, also worth keeping on your radar.
Fact that everything I want is in front of my eyes, so when I see it die.
And it's much in the music as it is her visuals, where Little Simz really stakes her claim as one of the best artists working today. As an actress too, she started landing roles on the BBC at 16 and currently stars in Top Boy on Netflix, so Simz really knows the power of filmmaking and getting her message across. She even expands the core ideas of I love you, I hate you into a 25-minute short film. The music video for Point and Kill draws from an iconic West African movie, Tuki Buki, borrowing the visual of a motorcycle with horns tied to the front. A machine and nature, tradition and modernity. In a way, it feels like what the song's trying to do, reaching back and connecting across time and space to create something entirely new. In the No Thank You music video, she reaches back even further, referencing the Horse in Motion from 1878. Anyone who's seen Nope will recognize this.
And now, did you know that the very first assembly of photographs in sequential order to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Look it up.
Here he's on fire, headed backwards across the frame. And it's another example of what she does best, funneling influences and existing inspiration back through her own lens.
Who got the keys to my bimmer? Simma, who got the keys to my blood clot bimmer? Big time driller.
She even expands beyond her own lived-in world, tapping into Japanese influences in her song Control.
I'm listening to look at the wabi-sabi lens, so I get wabi-sabi view.
Wabi-sabi is a Japanese art and worldview focused on finding beauty in imperfection, finding authenticity and power in the cracks and decay, and seeing them as nature itself, knowing that you're good enough, faults and all. And if you can, not just look past, but accept them, you'll find beauty in more places. Listen, I know I'm underexposed to the UK scene, but I'm always excited to see what comes out of it. Hip-hop and rap are deeply American genres, so it's fun and inspiring to see it digested by different countries and cultures and spit back out in a totally new form. Whether it's Slow Tie, Skepta, or Stormzy. Look, I know there are limitations to some of the cultural significance or background of Simz that I'll not be able to get at a core level. I'm a tourist wandering through, but still her art crosses those boundaries. And if they cross for me, I'm sure its impact just builds and builds the more you intersect. It's a cultural exchange. Something Simz knows. She uses that cultural exchange as another tool to artistically take charge. By often placing herself next to iconic imagery and samples, she reclaims the narrative around black art and its value.
I'm Jay-Z on a bad day, Shakespeare on my worst days.
It's what Beyonce and Jay-Z did when they took over the Louvre. It's what Simz does in her music video for Introvert, filmed inside London's Natural History Museum. It weaves moments and places of black history and struggle next to the physical embodiment of how we preserve who we are. Simz places herself in the same breath as traditional titans. It's what her allusions to Tuki Buki were doing from another angle, asserting that black art deserves to be recatalogued in the cultural consciousness, saying, I am here, amongst these classics, and maybe in a self-fulfilling way, I demand to be considered amongst them. And here's where I leave you to dive into the specifics of her music itself, to watch and wonder as she bounces between flows, genres, and statements like a surgeon. I want this video to be an entry point, to get you excited, to let you discover the subtleties. That's where the fun of being a fan lies. In my short life, I've watched the arc of a lot of musicians. I spent a few years as a stagehand at a venue. I work on the side as a concert photographer, and I like to think I have a decent eye for what makes an artist click. And with Little Simz, it's all there. Simply put, it's the best time possible to get on board. Here's an artist that's blown up, but weirdly enough in the US at least, it's kind of underrated. We're looking at a critically adored, independent artist hitting her groove with just the right amount of fame where creative control is unlimited, but no one can come through saying she's past her prime or hate on her for not being her old self. She simply is. She's an artist that's in the pocket and prolific. Where some artists create to get fame, it seems like she's been waiting to get this fame so she can truly create. Fame is the byproduct. She's pouring out new music, art, films, and generating culture from every angle. Who knows how long it'll last? So here's my advice for right now. Just enjoy. Don't hate, don't pine for different eras. Just be here for this iteration of Little Simz. Hold your breath and hope she has the space to grow into places you never even considered. But be grateful for what you're getting right now. You'll look back on the last few and next few years wistfully in a decade. And trust me, it's more fun to just go along for the ride. So take a seat, kick your feet up, and enjoy the golden age of Little Simz.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more video essays on the overlooked art and culture that makes this weird, strange mess worthwhile.